We have done two parts, the nominative and the objective. Now we go to the third, and that's possessive case, ownership. You own something, you possess. You can say, I can say, this is my pen. Pauline's pen, they will say. This is my book. So possession, I'm telling, this is mine. So we will look at the third case, okay? And that is the third in the possessive case. Now, how do you detect the possessive case? You will say any noun or pronoun that denotes any noun or pronoun. Any noun or pronoun that denotes the possessor, ownership, okay, the possessor. Or owner of anything, possessor or owner of anything. I can say my pen, my book, my board, okay. It's said to be in the possessive case. And this is the third and the last one, okay. It's said to be in the possessive case. And that's what we are going to look at now. We look at closely at the possessive case. I'll give you some sentences for you to look at. Okay. The dog bit the boy's leg. The boy's leg. Okay? Ram found Asha's pen. Then Anne lost her mother's ring. Anne lost her mother's ring. Mother's ring. This is his pen. This is his pen. This is my book. My book. Okay, now let's look at all this. We can say any noun or pronoun that denote the possessor, ownership, owner of anything is said to be in the possessive case. As I told you, this is my book. Mine, I'm on. This is Kala's pen. Owner is Kala. This book is Mala's. Who is the possessor, owner? Mala. So now look at this case, sentence. The dog bit the boy's leg. Whose leg? The boy's leg. Not my leg. The dog bit the boy's leg. Ram found Asha's pen and lost her mother's ring. So ring was mother's, pen is Asha's, the leg that is bitten is the boy's. Here, this is his pen and this is my book. Then you can say The book is colors. You can't say my book, it's colors book. Now, in all these cases, who is owning, whose leg, who is the owner of the leg? The boy. Who is the owner of the lost pen? Asha. Who is the owner of the ring? Mother. Then who is the owner of the pen? He. Who is the owner of the book? I. Then who owns this particular book? Kala. Now, owner, one who possesses. So we say Asha's pen, mother's ring, his pen, my book, Kala. All these are in the possessive case. So now we say Asha's pen, boy's leg, mother's ring, his pen, my book, Kala's book, all these owned by somebody, possessed by someone. So we say that is in the possessive case. Supposing somebody finds a storybook of yours, you will say that is my storybook. Supposing you say Maria found a bag. Now whose bag is that? Then you will say that is my bag. Asha says my bag, owner. Who does it belong to? So in possessive case, the dog bites somebody's leg. Whose leg? The boy's leg. Dog bit boy's leg. So whose leg is that? Boy's leg. Whose pen did Ram find? Ram found Asha's pen. Belongs to Asha. Whose ring? Who did Anne lose? Anne lost. Mother's. It belongs to mother. Then whose pen is this? His pen. He is the owner. Whose book is this? Mine. This book is mine. And whose book is this? Kala's. The one who owns. The possessive case is very, very easy. We will do some more sentences to understand the possessive case better. Now I'll give you how we form the possessive case. Okay? The different ways of forming. There are 3 different ways of forming the possessive case. So understanding of the formation of possessive case. That's what we are going to do. How to form the possessive case. How to form the possessive case. Okay? How? There are 3 different ways of forming. The first one, examine the nouns in the sentences that I'll give you. The nouns in the possessive case in 3 different cases different. So now the first one I'll give you now is, look at the nouns. You're going to watch the nouns. Have a look at the nouns. See how the nouns are being formed. The girls, the girl's father. The girl's father is ill. Okay. Next we have the farmers. The farmer's cow was stolen. Look at the nouns in all these 3 sentences. The horse's leg. The horse's leg was broken. Ram's gate was stolen. Peter's shoes were lost. Now look at the nouns here. We will look a close look at the nouns. What are the nouns here? We are looking at the noun girl, farmer, horse, Ram, Peter. Look at the nouns in these 5 sentences. Okay. We are examining the nouns in the possessive case in these 5 sentences. Now, in the possessive case, the nouns in the possessive case are in the singular number. One girl, one farmer, one horse, one Ram, one Peter. Now, so in these cases, the singular nouns are formed by adding an apostrophe and then S follows. So that's how we form the first type of possessive case. We have singular, all the nouns are singular. We put an apostrophe and add an S in the case of forming these possessive case. So we have girl's father is ill, the farmer's cow was stolen, the horse's leg was broken, Ram's gate was stolen, Peter's shoes were lost. So in the first way of forming the possessive for case in these 5 sentences, remember the nouns are in the singular form. We put an apostrophe and we add an S, and thus we form the possessive case in the first case. Now I have 2 more for you. There are 3 different ways of forming possessive cases. So I said there are 3 ways of forming the possessive case. First, the noun. Singular noun, you put an apostrophe followed by an S to form the possessive case. Now in the second part, now we are going to do the second one. Now let's see how we form the possessive case in the second part. Again, look at the how to form the possessive case and look at the nouns here. Okay, first one, many. Look at the nouns. Many girls. Many girls' books are lost. Okay. Next we have all these horses, tails, all these horses' tails are black. Many girls' books, not one girl, many girls. Many horses' tails, they are all black. Next, the farmers' crops failed this year. Now, in these sentences, look at again the nouns. Last we did the singular noun. When it comes to a singular noun, what you do is put an apostrophe, put an S following the apostrophe. So you will say the girl's book were lost, Tom's shoes were lost, whatever. Singular noun, apostrophe followed by an S. And here you have When you say noun, you have plural nouns. In this, you have many girls. So, you have many girls. There are more than one noun. It's plural. So, you write the apostrophe after the noun, plural noun. So, you say, many girls' books are lost. Here, all these horses, look at the apostrophe, all these horses' tails are black or brown, whatever. All the benches, you'll put an apostrophe after the benches, are broken. The farmers, all the farmers' crops failed this year. So we are talking of many farmers, plural noun, many horses, many girls, many farmers. All the children's bags were lost. Not one child, all the children. All the houses were robbed. So when you say all the houses, all the houses, things were robbed. Things were stolen. We are talking about many, not one, more than one. Then the apostrophe comes outside the word. It comes outside. That's what we are looking at. In the first, when you say possessive case, singular. This book is mine. Singular. Or you say, this is Kala's book. Kala. Singular. So you put Kala, then you put an apostrophe, then you put an S. Singular possession. Here the nouns are plural. Therefore, you will write girls and the apostrophe is outside because all the girls' books were lost. When you say horses, many horses, the apostrophe is outside. All the horses' tails are black. When you talk about farmer, all the farmers, many, more than one farmers. So the apostrophe comes outside. All their crops are failed. When you talk about houses, all the houses in the street, the houses and the apostrophe comes outside and all the things were robbed or theft, whatever. So in the second form, first we said to form the possessive case, singular. This is Peter's. Peter, apostrophe and S. Peter's pen. In this case, it is plural, girls. Many girls or all the girls. Apostrophe comes outside. Plural noun. So, there are two ways of forming possessive case. In the singular noun, the apostrophe, then the S is formed. In the plural noun, you put S and the apostrophe comes after the noun. The two is singular and plural possessive case. Now we go to the third. We go to the third way of forming the possessive case. Okay. First is the singular, second is the plural, and here you have the third one. We have sentences. We have possessive case in the plural again. But here this plural is different from what we did earlier. First of all, let's look at the sentences I have for you. First one, men's lives are full of misery. look at the sentence carefully. Children's lives are full of happiness. Women's lives are full of cares. Parents failed in their duty. And look at all the plural form here. Okay, you can say teachers. Teachers' places were empty. Now, we are looking at again the plural form. Look at the nouns again. Nouns in this first case of forming possessive case, I said singular. Peter's car. Possession, singular, noun, apostrophe and followed by an S, showing singular possession. In the second we found plural, we say the girls. You will say many girls' books are lost. After the girls, you put an apostrophe and we form the possessive case. Now, in the third case, you have all plural. You have the men, the children, the women, the parents, the teachers, all are plural. And in this case, you don't say one man, many man here, many children, many women, many parents, many teachers. So, when there is many, the apostrophe after the plural word followed by an S. In plural, apostrophe comes after the men. You put the apostrophe followed by an S. Here you say men's lives, that means life of many men. Men's lives are full of misery. Children's, all the children's lives are full of joy, full of happiness. Women, every single women. Women's lives are full of cares. Parents, all the parents. Parents failed in their duty. When they fail, then the children don't perform well. Teachers' places. Wherever the teachers sit, teachers' places were empty. That means no teacher came to school. So in the third possessive case, when it is plural, then you have the plural word followed by the apostrophe and the S. So there are three ways of forming possessive case. Remember to put the correct apostrophe. Peter's, this is Peter's pen, singular. After Peter, you put an apostrophe S. That is for the first one. If many girls loses their boxes, many girls, after the girls, you put the followed by the apostrophe. In these plural forms, like the men and children and women and parents and teachers, in these cases, you put the apostrophe after the plural followed by S. So, three ways of forming possessive case. That's what we've learned now. We need to do a small exercise to recall to our mind the possessive case that we have done. So, we'll do few sentences to refresh, to recall, to remember what we learned. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. Look carefully at these possessive form sentences. That's what I'm requesting you now. Look carefully, okay? Let's look carefully at these possessive forms. We know what is possessive form, but these sentences will help us to again to affirm, oh, this is it. Huh? Now, the first sentence, the lion bit the deer. The lion bit the deer leg. Now, you're talking about the deer. So, deer's leg. The lion bit the deer's leg. Whose leg? The deer's leg. The next one, Pam found Susan's bag. Pam found Susan's bag. Okay? Pam found Susan's bag. Okay. Susan's bag. Deer's leg. All right? Next one. Sam sat on his friend's bat. Sam sat on his friend's bat. Sam lost. Sam lost his friend. Sam lost his friend's bat. Went to play in the playground and Sam lost his friend's bat. Deer's leg. Susan's bag. Friend's bat. Okay? Possessive forms. Next. He lost the boy's shoes. He lost the boy's shoes. He lost the boy's shoes. Okay? Deer's leg. Susan's bag. Friend's bat. And the boy's shoes. Next, this is his pant. This is possession. His belongs to. This is his pant, or this is his bag, or this is his box, whatever. Okay. Next, the teacher's bag is lost. The teacher's bag. The teacher's bag. The teacher's bag is lost or found, whatever. The teacher's bag, possessive form. Deer's leg, Susan's bag, friend's bag, boy's shoes, his box, teacher's bag. Next, the girl's purse was robbed. The girl's purse was robbed. So the girl's purse. Okay. Dear's leg, Susan's bag, friend's bat, boy's shoes, his box, teacher's bag, girl's purse. Next, the farmer's horse was stolen. The farmer house was stolen. The farmer's house was stolen. Next, the cat's tail was cut off. The cat's tail, the cat tail was cut off. The cat's tail was cut off. Whose tail? Cat's. Cat's tail was cut off. Flood. The flood was nature's fury. Okay? The flood was the nature's fury. The flood was the nature's fury. Now let's look at all the possessive form sentences we have done. Here, the lion bit the deer's leg. Whose leg? The deer's leg. Apostrophe S to show possessive form. Pam found Susan's bag. Whose bag did she find? She found Susan's. Susan, apostrophe S, belongs to Susan's bag. Susan's bag. Sam lost his friend's bat. Who lost the bat? Sam lost. Whose bat? Friend's, apostrophe S. It is the friend's bat. He lost the boy's shoes. Whose shoes? The boy's. Who lost? He lost it. Boy's shoes, possession, apostrophe S, boy's shoes. Then this is his box. The teacher's bag. Whose bag is lost? The teacher's. Teacher, apostrophe S, teacher's bag is lost. The girl's, apostrophe S, the girl's purse was robbed. Farmer, the farmer, apostrophe S, the farmer's house was stolen. The cat, apostrophe S, the cat's tail was cut off. The flood was the nature's fury. Okay? The flood was the nature's fury. Next. All the girls took part in the march. All the girls. Okay? All the girls took part. All the girls took part in the march. There was a march past and all the girls took part. So the possession is for the girls. All the girls. Apostrophe S. All the girls took part in the march past or in the march past. In the march past. Okay? Next. This shop has men's wear only. This shop. This shop has men were only. So men, and you have apostrophe s. Men were only. Girls took part. Men's were only. Possession. Next. The children's lives should be protected. Children's. Children's. Okay? Children's lives should be protected. The children's lives, apostrophe S. Girls took part, all the girls. Shop has men's wear only. Children's lives, all the children's lives. Next. All the women in the village took part. So all the women in the village took part in the march. Then the farmers' crop failed. Whose crop failed? The farmers. The farmers. The farmers' crop failed. The farmers' crop failed and they were sad. They were sad. The crop, farmers. So, farmers, apostrophe outside. Farmer's crop. And finally, the man's hand held the baby. The man's hand, the man's hand held the baby. Held the baby. Man's hand, apostrophe S. Now that's come to the end of the possessive form. Let's look at it carefully. Now, look carefully at these possessive form of sentences. The first we have is the lion bit the deer's leg. We're talking about the deer's leg. Pam found Susan's bag. Susan's bag is lost. Susan, apostrophe S. Sam lost his friend's bat. Friends. He lost the boy's, apostrophe S, boy's shoes. This is his box. The teacher's bag. First bag is lost. The girl's purse. This particular girl's purse was robbed. The farmer's house was stolen. The cat's tail was cut off. Cat's tail. The flood was the nature's fury. And then we have some more sentence here. All the girls, we're talking about all the girls in the school or in the class, all the girls, so after the girls you have the apostrophe, took part in the march past. Then the shop has, this shop has men's wear only. The children's lives, all the children's lives should be protected. The farmers' crop failed and they were sad. Farmers' crop failed and they were sad. And finally, the man's hand held the baby. The man's hand. So, having looked at all the possessive form of sentences, I'm sure we can recall to our mind, we can remember the possessive form. As I said, practice. When you write a sentence, you should know where we put the